Our friends over at BetUS has dropped some early odds for some big fights. Let's start with the early odds for the Della Maddalena versus the Islam Makhachev. They have Jack coming in at a plus 206, Islam coming in at a minus 250. Very warranted, I feel like.
Wow, you think so?
I mean, if you're just going by UFC math numbers, Islam has the more storied career so far. He has the more history. I know he's stepping up, but it's deemed as wrestler versus striker, even though we know Islam has a lot of striking of his own, just not the same as Jack.
Okay, so would you I had, it says right here, Jack Della Maddalena is a plus 182, and you got Islam at a minus 220. Is that what you have?
No, not according to the pretty graphic they sent me.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me what the odds were again on that.
They had Jack at a plus 206, Islam at a minus 250.
All right. I mean, you think that's warranted?
I think so. I mean, Jack is, this sounds dumb to say since he's the world champion, but compared to Islam, he's a little unproven. I mean, people have that to say against Islam sometimes, but I mean, if you look at the level of competition, I know they're different weight classes, but the ignorant fan would say Islam has faced the more dangerous fighters in the Dustin Poiriers and the Charles Oliveira's of the world,
No, I would agree. I would agree with you on that. But JDM, man, he proved so much by beating Bilal Muhammad and the way that he did it. Stuffing takedowns, being able to get back up to his feet, landing the combinations, being able to push Bilal backwards was a big deal. Taking somebody who is known for their conditioning, their cardio, and making them go backwards and making them look tired is pretty damn impressive. And so, that fight has me like second guessing how well Islam's going to do. Now, I think Islam's going to win, but and the reason why I say that is because, look, not only am I just biased because he's an AKA guy, but I want you guys to think about this. JDM said it himself. People think that he's going to take me down and submit me. And if you're saying that, then whether you're saying it just in like, hey, that's what people think, you've thought it yourself. And so he's going to be extremely focused on stopping, Islam's takedowns. But they're not going to be the same type of takedowns that Bilal shoots. They're not going to be the same type of takedowns that Gilbert Burns shoots. They're going to be a little bit more effortless. They're going to be a little bit more, in the clinch inside a phone booth. They're going to be pressed against the fence. They're going to be foot sweeps. They're going to be clinched. There might be a couple single leg like lifts and dumps and things like that. But they're not going to be like, let's drop down on double legs and try and shoot those. That's where we're at. And I guess for me, though, too, it's kind of the unknown. I was expecting them actually to be the odds to be a little bit closer. As much as I'm leaning towards Islam, I was expecting the odds to be a little bit closer, only based on the fact that the 15-pound jump is a lot. It's not like jumping from 25 to 35, 35 to 45, and 45 to 55. You're jumping the full 15. So how well does Islam handle the weight? When you're talking world-class fighters like a JDM and anybody else in that top 2 or 3 in the 175-pound or the 170-pound division. So there's a lot of questions to be answered there for me as well. I look at 155 with Islam and Habib. I had all the answers. Now it's coming into uncharted territory because I've seen how well they did against guys that were at the top at the time when they were younger. They're now a lot better, but so a lot of other people have gotten better with them. JDM wasn't even around when I was fighting basically, and the guys those guys that Islam and Habib were training with back then, those guys are gone. Even though they were at the top of the chain back then, those guys are not in the sport anymore now. And so I know how good they are when they were competing against 170 pounders. I know their ability to take people down. And I said this, Habib was able to take down Ed Ruth multiple times. Islam was able to take down Ed Ruth multiple times. 3-time national champ out of Penn State, like phenomenal wrestler, was able to take him down. So there's, don't just think in terms of there's MMA wrestling and there's wrestling. And there's a big difference, especially when punches being thrown at your head, when you're in the clinch. And there's that sambo wrestling, which is more of a judo, which is what Islam uses, not so much as Habib did. Habib would use more of the double leg, single leg, that kind of thing, and he was real good at turning the corner. Islam is more of, I'll shoot the single, but then I'll try to work my way up to the body. When I work my way up to the body, I'll try and lift, scoop, take you back over your leg, whatever it is. But it's more of a sambo / judo style, like where there's less effort, I think, but a little bit more explosiveness and using your momentum and your push to take you off base. So the odds, I thought, to be honest, were going to be a little bit closer, which your little beautiful graphic shows that it was a little bit closer, but now it's started to be a little bit more of a separation.
The updated odds are it's getting a little bit more, like you said, the updated odds are plus 182 for Jack, minus 1 or 220 for Islam.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a long ways to go for the fight. They don't even know when the fight's going to take place, but if you want those early odds, you want to jump on that bet right there. If you think JDM's going to get the win at plus 182, I'd jump on it, man. I'd jump on it. If you think Islam's going to get that win at minus 220, I would imagine these odds will start to shake out a little bit closer as the fight gets there. It'll end up being closer to even money by the time this fight comes to fruition, which I'm assuming around probably September. Maybe August, September, depending on JDM's ability to heal up and get ready for the fight. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.